There we go. This is a weird angle, isn't it? Roberto, you are first. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. I'll just let a few people join here and then we can start having a chat. The idea behind this live stream, of course, is as per the last ones, just really, it's I guess a Q&A. Anything you want to know, anything you want to ask, go ahead and drop a comment on the live chat here. I'll make sure that's displaying so I can see all of you. Let's just see if a few people want to join here. So live chat going on. You can also leave a super chat if you definitely want your question answered. It will highlight it up nice and big on the screen. So a few people joining now. How is everyone? Can you hear me well? Jason is here. Hey Joel. Hey Jason, how are you? Chewbacca, how are you, sir? Nice to see you here. It's good to see some familiar names from my YouTube comments. I know who you guys are. Modern Filmmaker says, sounding good, excellent. I'm glad you can all hear me. And yeah, as I said, this really, as per the last live streams, is just a chance to have a chat, for you guys to ask any questions that you do have, and I'll try and answer as many as possible. And of course, if you do want to have your question guaranteed to be answered, do a super chat question, pressing the $ there. It donates a little bit of money to me, but also it highlights the question nice and big on the screen so I can see it, because all of these ones are quite small and that's my hand right in the way. Hello Mac, hello Pedro, hello PJ. So yeah, please guys, fire away any questions that you have got. I'm going to sit on here for probably half an hour or so until the sun goes down, and yeah, just sort of try and answer as many questions as possible if you've got them. So let me know as well, like, what have you all been up to? Have you been able to go out and drive? I've taken the chance to come out and do this outside again today because we are allowed to leave the house now, which is great. Ricky White says, so why not buy a Z4 Coupe E86? Good question. The E86 Z4 Coupe is definitely a car I want to own. However, in terms of like a next car, I don't think it will be one of those. And the main reason being is just because I want a bit of a change. Obviously, it's a different car to this, a little bit up on power. It's obviously an entirely different dynamic being a coupe, but I think it's, you know, it's the same platform as my Z4, and I've had this car for over 3 years now. So I think I'd probably want something a little bit different, a bit of a change next. Hampshire Photo says, I think I've gone through a set of rear tyres this weekend alone. Hope you're well, mate. Yeah, I went through a bit yesterday, actually. I went for quite a spirited drive, and that was a lot of fun. What are my views on ceramic coating or PPF? I think if you've got a car of value, it's definitely a good idea. I think the cost of ceramic, I mean, if I was to ceramic coat PPF this car, it would pretty much cost the value of the car. So on something like this, maybe not so much, but if you've got your pride and joy that you're planning on keeping forever, it's, you know, it's a good way to go in terms of protecting your paintwork. And yeah, let me hold this for a second, see if I can get a better. Oh, we got the nice sunset behind me. How about an E46 M3 manual? Yes, that's a car. If you watched my video yesterday about the cars that I'm looking at on Auto Trader, that wasn't in there. However, E46 M3s are cars that I am looking at all the time. I really like the E46 M3, and it is a car I'd definitely like to own at some point. So I wouldn't say it wouldn't be the next car, but I need a car that's going to be more dailyable. I need a car that's going to be a bit different. So yeah, an E46 M3 could be a way to go, definitely in the future. PJ said he picked up his Z4 Coupe a couple of days ago, been out for a hoon today. So much difference from previous Z4 convertibles. I have driven a couple, and yeah, they are good fun to drive actually, and better to drive than the coupes all in all. What's next for the Z4? Nothing really that's going to be happening any time in the very near future because of everything that's still going on. I would like to get it lowered at some point. I would really like to take it on a track day, so that's something I'd like to do. And yeah, there's a few other little bits as well. So yeah, I'll update you as and when. How long are you planning to keep your Z4 for? How long am I planning? I'm not planning on selling it yet. if you watched my video yesterday, want to keep it as my sort of weekend toy, and then maybe get something else which is a daily, and then something like an M6, which is an even crazier car. In which case the Z4 wouldn't be going anywhere. But I think one day, I always like to have a 2-seater convertible in my garage going forward. So whether or not that's upgraded to something like a Z4M or an Alpina Roadster, or something like a Porsche Boxster that would be a little bit different. Modern Filmmaker, thank you so much, has donated $5. That's very kind of you. Are you still enjoying your Z4, or are you ready to move on? And what type of vehicle would you move on to? So yeah, I guess I just touched on that. So I am planning on keeping it for the foreseeable future. But am I ready to move on? Yes, I definitely am. And that's not to say I don't love my Z4 anymore. It is just a case of, I've had the car 3 years. I've done over 50,000 miles in it now. And I've definitely got everything out of it that I can possibly get in terms of extracting its performance. There's still some other mods that I like to do for it. But, I think one day in the relatively, not near future, but I will replace the Z4 at some point. I won't have this car forever. Whether I replace it with a newer Z4, a Z4M, an Alpina Roadster, something like that, or something entirely different like a Boxster, or I don't know. There's lots of options. An S2000 is a car I'd like to get out of my system at some point. But thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. JMC says he just bought a Z4 in Merlot this afternoon. Thank you for your amazing videos. Thank you so much for being part of the channel. I really appreciate you being here. What got you into BMWs? I'm guessing they're your favourite brand. They're not necessarily my favourite brand, and the only reason I actually got a BMW in the first place is not because I always wanted a BMW, but because at the time I was looking for sort of sports cars around the £5,000 mark. The Z4 it was the wisest option, I suppose. So, but having now owned a BMW for so long, you definitely do get sucked in to some extent. And I guess I love BMWs now, and a lot of the cars I want to get next are BMWs, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily my favourite car brand. Let me scroll back up because I'm missing quite a few questions here. Greetings from America. Hello, David. E92 M3. Yeah, my friend Ben just got one of those. I haven't driven it yet, but I would love an E92 M3 at some point. Yeah, definitely will have one at some point. Does the E89 Z4 have a difference in any way other than a remap? I actually don't really know, to be honest. Simon says he just found the channel, he's enjoying the videos, got an offer in on a 2003 85. Excellent. Well, fingers crossed for you. Please show me how is the inner hoop wind deflectors mounted. Also, I'm interested in how is the middle one mounted. I'm thinking of retrofitting it. I can show you my wind deflector now if that's of any use. Let me see if hopefully this camera stays on. There we go. I've got a lovely sunset behind me. I'm sitting in the car, obviously. Let me flip the camera there. So I'm not sure exactly what you're asking, but my wind deflector, which I'm pretty sure is an OEM, is simply just mounted with 2 clips. So there's one on each side. There you go. You push it in, and one there, and then it just comes out. And as I did demonstrate in a video fairly recently, you can then mount. If you go into the boot, and I'll try and do this one-handed, you can mount this in the boot. But to be honest, I always leave the wind deflector on. So, am I filming that for you? Yeah, it literally just clips in on 2 sides like that, and you can mount it like so. So yeah, in terms of how it's fitted, it is simply just 2 clips that go in like sort of each side. Exactly the same. I hope that is useful, and that's what you're asking for. Do you find your backbox delete too loud when you start the car in the morning? I'll tell you what, I've got this little tripod. Let me see if I can wrap this around this pole here, and then I won't have to hold it. Bear with me, guys. Sorry about this. I'll get onto your question very shortly. Oh, this is actually not working at all. All the gear, no idea, as they say. I have no idea what I'm doing. There we go. Is that better? Is that going to fall off? There we go. Okay, but I've got to come here to look at the questions. So do I find my back box delete too loud when I start the car in the morning? I'm going to close that boot, actually, it's annoying me. No, I don't. I mean, I guess I do live at the moment next to neighbours. I have neighbours. I didn't have neighbours when I got the back box delete done, so it wasn't really an issue. Now, it's do you know what? It's not stupidly loud, to be honest. So it's not really a problem, if I'm honest with you. And I am very, what's the word? Empathetic. Very, I don't know what the word is. I'm careful, so I'll start it and very gently drive it away. So I'm not the type of person, although I like to drive fast, I'm always slow and quiet in residential areas. So yeah, it's not really too loud in the mornings. If I got an M6 and straight piped it, that would be a different story altogether. What's your favourite coding mod? So I mean, I guess I've got the Carli Adapter, which is a fantastic product, and actually, oh my god, whoa, whew, I clearly didn't mount this very well. Jeez. Do you know what? I'm going to hold it again and we'll try that again in a second. My favourite coding mod with the Carli adapter, that's way too close for comfort, isn't it? Is it zoomed in? Is definitely the ability to do this. I'll show you if I get the keys. So obviously with the Carli mod, it meant that I was able to code the car so that using the lock button, let me try and do it, here we go. So using the lock button and unlock button, I can pop the roof up. It's not going to work now, is it? How awkward. Let me try that one more time. There you go. So I'm literally using my key to put the roof up and down, which wasn't a standard feature on these Z4s. So that's kind of fun. So that's definitely my favourite coding mod from the Carli adapter, which will be another video coming on that actually on Wednesday, I think. So I'll keep you guys posted. Let's bring this back out here. So let's have a look at some more questions. Oh gosh, there's a lot of questions here. Thank you so much, guys. Is deleting the back box of the car illegal in Europe? What happens in time for the MOT? So no, it's not illegal, and it's not an MOT fail in the UK either. What I believe is an MOT fail, and I'm not sure how everyone gets away with it, is when you start deleting the catalytic converters, because that is a legal requirement in this country, obviously, on an emissions basis. So you need your catalytic converters to pass your emissions test. The back box delete is not an MOT fail. You can delete your back box. All it does is make the car louder and a little bit lighter and doesn't affect your emissions, to my knowledge. So, and the police, I've never been pulled over in this car actually. I've been pulled over in previous cars, but never the Z4. I'm gonna scroll back up. What else we got? Scrack the MTB runner, hello. It's illegal in Germany apparently. What's your thoughts on the 2019 Z4 Roadster? My friend has one. They're really cool and sound good. I've still not driven one. It's really annoying. I've been speaking to BMW themselves, and I haven't been able to get hold of one yet. And a couple of dealerships have offered me them, but it's just never quite come to fruition. So until I've driven it, I don't really want to pass judgment. On face value, I think they're quite good looking cars, certainly in darker colours. And I think they're super fast. Whether or not they've lost a bit of the sort of connection that you get with these older ones, I'm not too sure. Again, I haven't driven one. But on the face of it, I think they're pretty cool. Probably not a car for me, but I do need to drive one before I sort of make any other judgment. Right, I'm really sorry. I'm going to try and mount this camera again because I'm not going to be able to hold this for much longer. Hang on. This is so entertaining for you guys, I'm sure. Okay, that's better, isn't it? Let's just, there we go. Right, hopefully it doesn't fall off this time. That's awkward, isn't it? Christian Thomas, hey buddy, how are you? Could I do a video rating the current E85s on the market right now as I'm looking to grab one? Yeah, it's not a bad idea actually. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll do a similar sort of style video to the Auto Trader one I did yesterday. I'm 18 in the US, I don't have a ton of money, but I really want a fun two-door sports car. The Miata is too slow and I want something under £7,000. Is the Z4 the only option? And are they super expensive to run, I suppose? Well, I mean, so my budget was about £5,000, which is, I guess, around $7,500 US back in the day when I bought this. and it was the best option at that point in terms of to buy and to run. My car really hasn't cost me too much to run at all. It's not bad on fuel. You know, it's pretty standard parts. With my engine being the 3 litre, it's, I think, one of the most mass-produced BMW engines, so it's very reliable, but it's also easy and cheap to find parts. But you know, I've had a few issues with coolant and things like that, but it's I've never incurred any major costs, and it's, you know, it is a relatively cheap car to run. And you know, even though I've put tons of miles on it, from what I paid for the car, I won't lose, you know, much money at all. I will lose a percentage of what I paid, but it's not that much money. God, lots of questions. Thank you guys so much. I'm not going to be able to get to all of your questions. I apologise, because there are so many coming in. I will say one more time, if you do want to have your question definitely seen, you can leave a super chat, pressing that $sign somewhere on the chat, and it donates some money to the channel, which is amazing, but also it will highlight your question for me. Let me scroll down then. What have we got here? Merch. It's Joel merch. I guess I have thought about that. I haven't found anything that I think would be a really good idea, because I'm not going to just make merch for the sake of creating some revenue. That's not at all why I would do it. I would want to find something that I really like, and I think you guys would like as well, that represents the channel, and then I'd sell that. So yeah, I guess if you've got any questions, any suggestions about what I could do for merch, let me know, because yeah, I'm definitely open to the idea of doing merch, and if there's enough people out there that want it, by all means, you know, it's great for everyone. You get something you enjoy, and it helps the channel. So I would love to do some merch, but I welcome your suggestions on what that could be. What else have we got? My friend Vanessa thinks your dad's fit and wants to know how old he is. Brilliant. Unfortunately, my dad is married, so he's not for sale. How old is my dad? He's 54, I think. Doesn't look it, and I guess I've got good genes to be thankful for in that case. Yeah, he's 54. There you go. What else have we got here? Have you driven your car with the roof down when it's dark? It's such a good feeling. Yes, I love doing that. And in fact, in normal situations, I go to a gym, which is about 20 minutes away most evenings, and I go really late when it's dark. So I always, if it's dry, have the roof down on those drives, and I love it. I know what you mean. You feel really connected with the elements, and the car, because everything's so quiet around when it's dark, just sounds so much louder. So yeah, I love it as well. It's a lot of fun. Bought my E85 Z4 last year thanks to your videos. Please don't sell it. It's possible. Thank you. I'm glad you got one. Actually, they're great cars, and it's not going anywhere just now. Don't worry. Could do a cup holder as merch. Imagine that. High mileage, 144k. Good or bad? If the car's been looked after and it's had some bits done to it, then totally fine. Mine's on 153k now, and still going strong, touch wood. So yeah, I wouldn't. I think with any car, I'm not a snob. I know a lot of people like low mileage cars, newer cars, but I couldn't care less about that. For me, most cars these days built in the last 20 years are super reliable, super good for a couple of 100,000 miles. So I would always rather purchase a lower price with high mileage, and you're more likely to get that purchase price back. And, you know, I don't think there's that much more risk of things going wrong. Maybe wear and tear bits here and there, but for me, I know of many people. My dad, for example, had a much lower mileage Z4, still does, around 50 when he bought it. And he's had as many, if not more, things go wrong. So I don't think mileage plays too much of a factor, generally speaking. Cups for your cup holder. So loads of people want cups, cups for the cup holders of them. That's quite a good idea, actually. You could do like It's Joel flasks. I guess I don't know what slogan would go on it. I'd want to do something quite witty, although I'm not very funny, so I might struggle with that. But I like the suggestion. What's the MPG on the Z4? Varies totally on how I drive it. Right now, my average is actually 25 MPG, but that's pretty much not been reset since lockdown started. And since lockdown started, I've only been using the car once every 2 weeks to go to the shop, to the supermarket, to get groceries. And on that drive, you know, obviously on the rare occasion I drive it, I like to drive it hard. So 25 is my average at the moment. If I do a long run in the car, I can get over 40 miles per gallon if I'm driving really sensibly. And that's a video I'm going to bring to you guys as soon as I can, actually, on how to get that sort of fuel economy from any car, really, but certainly this one as well. So thanks for the question. Lots of questions. Thank you so much. Colin says thanks. Have the garage mods videos stopped because of lockdown? Yes, that's it. So we can now, obviously with lockdown, we weren't allowed to leave the house for anything other than essential. Now we can leave the house, see one other person. But the reality of the Garage Time series is I'm in a confined space with my friend James, who helps me with the series. And I think still now, even though we could work around it, I think it would be a bit irresponsible to do. So I'm in no rush to start that again until it's totally safe and legal to do so. And even if it could be done now, I still think it's all about the image you put out there, and I wouldn't want to sort of be seen to be taking the rules to my own advantage, if that makes any sense. So yeah, in short, the Garage Time series is on pause because of the lockdown. And I want to move the camera because it's just a terrible angle, isn't it? Yeah, sorry about this. Will you be going to any car shows this year, if there is any? Yeah, definitely. I love a car show. Again, it's an excuse to go out in the car and to make some friends. No, to meet people and see their cars. So I love a car show. My favourites are definitely the Goodwood Breakfast Clubs. There is normally one late September, and whether or not that will go ahead, I don't know. But yeah, if there are any meets, I will definitely be attending. And I think, hopefully before the end of the year, we should be able to do an It's Joel meet. So I'll keep you guys posted if that can come to fruition, of course. Show us a walk around on the Z4. Go on then, why not? I feel like I do this every time I live stream, but you know, you're here for the cars really, not me, so why not? Let's just have a little look. I will caveat, the car is absolutely filthy. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll know exactly why. I posted a video yesterday of me doing some donuts in a very dirty car park on someone's estate. So the car is filthy. You can see it's just covered in dirt. Look at this. Lovely. But I'll do a quick walk around for you. Maybe shall I put the roof down for this? Might look a little bit better. There we go. So look, I should be able to use the key. Here we go. There we go, let's put the roof down there. It does look better with the roof up, actually, but I think as a convertible, it looks pretty good with the roof down. Okay, yep, here you go. So obviously got the MV2s on there, which are my latest wheels. Got my Michelin Pilot Sport 4s, which are fantastic. If you haven't seen my review on those, go and check it out. But the tyres are absolutely caked in dirt along with the door. The interior fared quite well, actually, and isn't too dirty. And yeah, this is a walk around. Oh my God, I haven't looked at the front. Jeez. All of that, by the way, are dead flies. That is absolutely insane. I literally haven't looked at the front of the car. This will be from yesterday. That is disgusting. But yeah, so my my light washer caps, which I fitted on a Garage Time episode, are still there, which is great. They haven't fallen off. But yeah, I mean, that's really it. What about the interior? Is there much to say here? Not really, other than I've got the cruise control. I've got obviously a cup holder over on that side. No sat nav in here. No heated seats, which sucks. That's my aftermarket head unit, which was in the car when I bought it. But yeah, one of the things I love about this car, it is just so rough and ready, isn't it? There's nothing really, you know, don't get me wrong, it's a comfortable place to be, and I've done lots of long journeys in it. But yeah, it's just very set up for driving. So that's why I love it. And oh, we've had a super chat donation from PJ. No question, really, just wanted to show support. That is, thank you so much. That's very, very kind. I really appreciate it. All of these super chat donations go straight into my YouTube, like ad revenue normal place. So they all go, and all of that goes straight into a separate bank account, which I use to spend on videos. And actually what I'll be using to buy a car with, hopefully very soon. So PJ, thank you so much for the donation. Although it may not seem like much, it really does all go a long way. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And of course, if you haven't got any questions, I'll be very happy to answer for you. Thank you. North Coast 500 tour. I did do one as a passenger in a McLaren a few years ago, and it was amazing. So I would love to do one behind the wheel at some point, definitely. Are soft tops hard to clean? I don't really know too much about it. I've never sort of done a full clean on the soft top, but I will be doing that soon, actually. My dad's got some products which are just for that. So I will be filming a video doing exactly that soon, hopefully. So I'll find out for myself whether they're easy to clean or not. Out of choice, would you prefer to fit spacers or low-end springs, or both? Probably both. I think let's turn the camera around again. So spacers obviously would be nice because you can see it's not too bad on this car, but obviously the wheel arch overlaps a little bit, and I would like to bring that out so that there is no overlap, and that the alloys are basically flush with the bodywork. So I would definitely like spacers, and then I think yeah, from the side profile, it would look better with spacers, but also with a bit of lowering as well. And you know, one thing I noticed when driving is there is a little bit of body roll, and I think the lowering springs would eradicate that to some point. So yeah, as soon as I can, I would like to look into that. But as I've mentioned before, I don't think I'll be doing any lowering to this car before I've got a new daily, because it's already sort of, I guess, uncomfortable enough as it is. So I wouldn't want to make it any harsher before I've got another daily. Harry Tilley says rev it. I won't, do you know what? I won't rev it obnoxiously, but I will just start it so you guys can listen to the burble, because I'm in a very peaceful, serene location and I wouldn't want to upset anyone. So tell you what, let me just start the car up. This won't be that exciting, will it? And now actually, because I've got that, you may have seen the video I did the sport mode modification. Look at this. So when I start the car, automatically the sport mode, I think it makes the cold start slightly louder. Let's switch that off because I think I'll intervene with the sound here. So there we go. And one thing I like to do is change the menu on here, and you can unlock some secret features, which I did feature in a video before, but if you've never seen it, you go up to selection 19 here, wait for it to say test off, and then if I go to number 7.1 or 7.2, that is my RPMs, so you can see them fluctuating a little bit there, and then my speed, which is quite cool, and also 7 here is my coolant temperature. So 7.1, 7.2, that's my revs. You can see if I blip the throttle, they go up there, which is, I think, pretty cool. But yeah, let's have a quick listen to the burble. It does sound good, I love it. Yeah, it's a cool sound it makes. You know, lots of people have said that it sounds great, and for a car that's like worth a couple of grand and just a very cheap exhaust modification, I think it sounds better than lots of cars that have had thousands spent on them to make the exhaust sound nicer. So I absolutely love the back box Elite. But yeah, I'm not going to rev it obnoxiously, I'm afraid, because it's very peaceful and quiet here. You know what, I'm going to just try mounting this camera again for the 3rd time. It's just a bit trickier to see your questions, I guess, when it's up here. But I'm getting a dead arm. Bear with me, guys, I apologise for this. There we go. I've got to sort of kneel down now, haven't I? Let me look at some more of your questions. What have we had here? How much does it cost to delete the back box? My back box delete cost 150 quid. I think it, you know, that's the going rate. I think it's a very simple job. All it requires is simply sawing off the back box, so sawing the pipes before the back box, and then welding on some new straight pipes. Now, the guy that did it for me actually had these straight pipes, and I didn't pay for them. He just put them on, so I guess they were included in the price. So yeah, so it should be around 150, maybe £200 to do. Money well spent, if you ask me. I'm just, bloody hell, I'm just going to move this. I'm getting really annoyed with this tripod situation. It's just easier to see your questions this way. And I'm going to sit in the car for a second as well. Bear with me, guys. Okay, let's see if we can pop that down there and look at some more questions. Lots of questions here, lots of questions. How come some models have the clear headlights but yours has the yellow indicators? It's not aftermarket, no, it's simply, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's a case of facelift and pre-facelift. So mine, being a 2004, is within the pre-facelift years. So that's 2003 to 2005. In 2006 came the facelift through 2008, and they have the clear headlights. So if you see the clear headlights, it's an SI, which is the slightly more powerful facelift version. Excuse me. How old were you when you got the Z4 and what was insurance like? I was just 20. I think I just turned 20 when I got the Z4 because I'm now 23 and I bought it in April and I turned 20 in January. So I was 20. Insurance, I think, was about £2,000 for a year, which, although I guess is quite a lot of money, was totally worth it for me at that time. Because it's just something a little bit different, isn't it? And now it's more like 700-800 quid, I think, for the year. Nice. Thanks, mate. Love your car and exhaust. Thank you. Golf R or S3? Probably S3 for me. I think it's just got a little bit more about it, and it is quicker, isn't it? So probably an S3. Still light over here. Yeah, it is. It's nice at the moment, actually. It stays light till around 9 PM or so, which is fantastic. Actually, it's a bit later than that. It's like 9 now, I think. I'm getting my rollover hoops and mirrors wrapped in carbon fibre. Would you consider any wrapping? Someone's having fun. Yeah, I probably won't, but I've always liked the idea of having a carbon fibre interior. And in fact, with the M6s that I'm looking at, that's like a must for me, is that it has the carbon fibre interior. So although I would like it, I don't think I'll do it to this car because it's just not really worth it for me. But that should look cool on yours. If you could add one factory optional extra to your car, what would it be? Definitely the heated seats. That's the one thing this car doesn't have, which it definitely could do with. Yeah, the heated seats. I think all convertibles should have heated seats, to be honest, shouldn't they? So this unfortunately doesn't. I think the reason I went for this one mainly was because of the cruise control, because I knew I'd be using it so much, and actually lots of them don't have the cruise control option. So yeah, I'm glad I got the cruise, but heated seats would be the icing on the cake. And there's another Chewbacca's donated $4.99. Thank you so much, Chewbacca. I appreciate that. And I recognise your name from YouTube comments. You're always commenting on my videos, and I really appreciate it. So thank you. Thank you so much for the donation. What car did you have before the Z4? So I've had sort of, I don't want to say a patchy history. I've had like 3 cars. My first car was a 2001 Vauxhall Corsa, pretty standard for a 17-year-old. That got, well, I crashed that one into a tree. It got repaired, and then I drove it through a ford, which is like a natural, it's like a bit of low ground which has a lot of sitting water in it. So that killed it. After that, then I had my dad's Mazda MX-5, which was great fun because I was like 18 years old and I had a rear-wheel drive 2-seater sports car that I basically had exclusive use of. That car, unfortunately, I wrote off as well. I blew it up. It didn't have any oil in it. I didn't really know much, well, anything about maintaining cars back then. So, you know, I'd neglected to think about putting any oil in. So it blew up. After that, then my dad bought a Suzuki Swift. It was like a 1.5 Suzuki Swift Sport, which that also got sold after about 6 months because it was just riddled with problems. But that actually had a really great engine, that car, and it was a lot of fun to drive. In between that, I've driven a few other cars, but the only car I've ever bought fully with my own money is this Z4. My first car, I went halves with my parents. It was about 1,200 quid, so not much money, but for a 17-year-old, I worked hard to save the 600. And then very kindly, because of my parents, the MX-5 I didn't pay for. Suzuki Swift I didn't pay for. But this car I paid for my own money. So this is really my first car that I've paid for. And Janaman, sorry if I've pronounced that incorrectly, has donated. Thank you so much. That's really kind of you. As I've said, it really helps the channel, because it all goes straight into the fund for videos on this channel, whether it's buying parts for the Garage Time series or saving towards a new car. All of this goes towards it. So thank you. I can't thank you enough. And another one from A Binks as well. Thank you so much. That's really, really kind. Let me know, guys, if you've got any questions at all. I really appreciate that. Gentleman says, like the content. Thank you so much. And if you've got any suggestions, dude, on videos you'd like to see me do, please go ahead and suggest. I always try and read comments, whether it's on these live streams or just on my videos as per usual, because I'm always looking for your suggestions. You are the reason I make these videos, essentially, because you're the guys that I'm making them for. So I'm always listening to what you want to see, whether it's more of these live streams, less of these live streams, different content altogether. I really appreciate your suggestions. So always keep letting me know. Thank you so much. Just keep on going. Thank you. I do intend to. You know, on a sort of personal note, I have to say, having a YouTube channel, especially during this lockdown, I've been away from work. Luckily, I'm getting paid a percentage of my salary, but I've not been working, and I think if I didn't have a YouTube channel to focus on and run during this time, I would be really struggling. And so I get a lot of fulfillment out of doing this. And like I say, during this time where we've been in a weird period, stuck at home, it's really kept me going, having a YouTube channel and a community out there that enjoy my content and appreciate it. So yeah, thumbs up to you guys. Thank you so much. When is the next time you're headed to the US? Would be cool if you set up a meet. Yeah, so on that, so this year, so I'll give you a long-winded answer here, I apologise. So last year, I went to the US in November. We rented a Corvette, drove it on the PCH, LA to San Fran, great fun, and then back down to LA. And during that time I was in America, I probably had 10 or 15 offers from people, be it on Instagram or YouTube or wherever, saying, oh, I'm in Orange County near Los Angeles, would you like to come and drive my Z4? Would you like to come and drive this Corvette? Do this, this and this and this. So because of that, I actually planned this year to spend a week in May, the month we're in now, out in LA or the surrounding area to just film content and meet up with you guys. So obviously that's not been able to happen this year, but if I can, as per the past couple of years, I will be going back to Los Angeles in November this year. And hopefully, fingers crossed, this whole virus situation calms down and we can travel safely by then. So yeah, to answer your question, when will I next be in the US? It will hopefully be November this year, if it's possible. And yeah, and I'll make a conscious effort to meet up with as many as you as possible. My day job, Louis, is I work for a video production company. So I think my sort of passion for that, obviously mixed with cars, is why this YouTube channel started. But yeah, I work as a production assistant in a video production company, which basically means, so we film videos for clients all over the world, in the corporate sector. So big companies, I won't mention any names, but some big companies you'll know about. And we film like documentary style stuff, interviews, testimonial videos where companies talk about the products they use, and we work for that product maker. So yeah, lots of, we film, I mean, my recent job in the US, we were filming a company that basically makes quantum computers. So although it might seem boring on the face of it, some of the people I get to meet through my job and the insights I get into other people's lives is fascinating. So that's what I do. A video on I bought a BMW M6. I would like to think that will be a video that comes at some point as soon as possible. Would you consider joining one of our meets later this year and maybe making a video? Yeah, definitely. I'm always up for meeting more Z4 owners. It's always a lot of fun because we share common interest, of course. So yeah, pop me a message or an email or something about your events if you've got any going ahead this year. I'd love to try my best to join and yeah, and document it as well. Hi Joel, watch the vids on your other channel from It's Me. How did you get to work with Sam from Seeing Through Glass, and why did you stop? Yeah, there's a lot to unpick from that, so I won't go into too much detail here. It's a video I made a while back actually talking about it in more detail, but maybe with the permission of Sam, it's something I might revisit. So Sam, about in the start of 2017, put a video out on his YouTube channel. I'd watched his YouTube channel for a little while. He put a video out saying, would you like to work with Seen Through Glass? And some details on how to apply for said job, which, you know, I applied. I made a show reel video, sent it to him. He instantly got back to me saying he loved it. He'd love to meet for a coffee and chat. So I think within a couple of days, that's exactly what happened. I met him at a Starbucks in London and we had a chat. And shortly after that, he texted me saying, yeah, cool, let's give it a go. I'd like to work with you. So I think maybe I met him on a Tuesday, and then he sent me a message on the Wednesday being like, can you go to Dublin tomorrow? Or something to that effect. And we ended up, yeah, filming a really cool drifting video actually in Ireland. Within a couple of days of starting to work with him. And so, yeah, why did we stop? Well, I was basically there for 6 months to help him during the busy summer period. And sadly, you know, the way it goes, having a second person on board in order to ultimately create better content, more camera angles, Sam could focus more on his pieces to camera while I got the shots. Unfortunately, that doesn't directly correlate with making more money on YouTube. So it was basically a 6-month trial, and, you know, sadly, the reality of it is that having a second person, who Sam was obviously paying, he was paying me, it didn't make the money back having a second person, if that makes any sense. Because, yeah, sadly on YouTube, quality doesn't necessarily generate more views and therefore more revenue. So it was never really going to be a long-term thing. But for the 6 months that I did with him, I had, some of my best memories to date. And I'm so thankful to Sam for the opportunity, of course, but they're memories I'll never forget, in fact. So, yeah, I'd love to talk about that some more, maybe on a video on here. But it was an awesome experience. Lots of thumbs up, thank you. Very cool. I saw that you get to do lots of traveling, must be great. Yeah, so I absolutely love traveling, and probably 50% of the traveling I do is with work, and another 50% is in my own time. So yeah, traveling is a big hobby of mine. Cool. How long have we been going? About 42 minutes now. Right, guys, I'm just going to have a drink of water because I can feel my mouth getting very dry. So let me try and put this down again, if I can. Weird Angles 101. Gosh, I'm telling you, this tripod is not the one. It is, yeah, there we go. Okay, that's an awful, hello. Cool, I remember the video asking for applicants. Yeah, so yeah, that was exactly how it came about. And actually it was funny, I met someone, I think, on my Z4 drive who told me that he also applied. And obviously didn't get the job, but that was really surreal, actually. So guys, I'll wrap up soon because it's getting dark. But if you've got any sort of questions you want to ask before I go, please feel free, because I'll stay for just a little bit longer here. Let's just try and get hold of this one again. Okay. What are your thoughts on the E89 Z4? Yeah, they're great cars, actually. I think it depends what you want. So they are a little bit more refined than these E85s, obviously being a hardtop. They do develop a lot of rattles from the ones I've driven. And it can be quite annoying. Probably not quite as engaging to drive as the E85. Looks are a subjective thing. For me, if I was going to get an E89, the only one I'd ever buy is the 35IS, which is rare, but also the most powerful one at around 340 brake horsepower, because that really feels like a GT car, and I think that really suits the E89. So if I was getting an E89, it would probably have to be a 35IS. Where's one place you've always wanted to go but haven't yet? Really good question. There's so many of those places. One place was Rio de Janeiro, and I was super lucky that I got to go there with work last year, September last year. So that was amazing. Other places, the one that I really want to visit, the Maldives, obviously the South Indian Ocean islands. I've never been to the Caribbean. There's a lot of sort of, Caribbean, Maldives, Mauritius, places like that I really want to visit. I'd like to get out to Singapore at some point, and Australia. They're two places I've never been. And New Zealand as well, to be honest. Canada is also top of my list. But I've been super fortunate to visit most of my sort of dream places. But yeah, Canada's up there. Iceland's up there, Australia's up there, New Zealand, and yeah, places like the Maldives or Caribbean. I'd love to go. Did you go to university, and if so, where? I'm supposed to be going to Southampton, but Corona cancelled exams. I'm sorry to hear that. That's a really stressful time, actually, trying to sort all of that out. No, I didn't go to university. I've spoken about it in a bit of detail before, but in short, I was always going to be an airline pilot. That was going to be the profession I pursued. And with being an airline pilot, you go to flight school around the age of 18. It's one of the ways you can do it. And you sort of do all your training that you need there. So university was never going to be on the cards for me, because I did actually go and pursue that route, and then just decided last minute, basically, I wasn't ready to pursue that. It's still something I might do in the future. I love aviation and love flying. But yeah, I'm glad I didn't do it, because I've got to sort of live my younger years without the worry of pilot training and securing a job and paying back a massive borrowed loan. So no, I didn't go to university for that reason. The Netherlands, I have been to lots, actually. I remember I went to Amsterdam 3 times in a week once for work. One of them was a day trip, and we literally flew out at, I think, 3 in the morning and flew back at like midnight the same day. But yeah, I've been to Amsterdam 4 or 5 times. I've been to Utrecht in the Netherlands, and I've driven through it as well. It's a lovely country. I'd like to visit more of it, actually. Have you ever thought of setting up your own It's Joel Z4 meet? I actually did do one was it August probably? And I'd like to do another one. So I'll make sure to let you know if there's going to be another one. There will be if I can. But obviously with everything going on, it might not be possible. But yeah, I've actually done one before, and I did a video on it. It was amazing. About, what was it, like 30 cars? It was crazy. Chewbacca, good question. If you had the chance to buy your car again, would you have chosen a different spec? Probably, yeah. I probably would have made sure it had cruise control. I would have probably gone for one that was like dark grey with these MV2 wheels, because I think they are still my favourite wheels. And in hindsight, although to be fair, they're a lot more expensive, I'd probably try and get an SI, just because it's that bit more powerful, that bit more updated, and looks slightly better in my opinion as well. But I'm very happy with my car, and I've sort of made it my own. But yeah, going back, I probably would have gone for a few different things, knowing what I know now. Thoughts on the Z8? Amazing car. I'd love to drive one and do a video with one someday. Hopefully when I can start working with BMW, that'll happen. So what do I do as my main job? I just spoke about that actually, but if you've just joined, I work for a video production company. So yeah, we have lots of corporate clients, and we make sort of advertisement type videos, I guess the best way to describe it. So that's my day job, although I'm not currently working at the moment because I am furloughed. So yeah, cool. Well guys, thank you so much for all your questions, and special thanks to all of you if you're here that have left a super chat today. That's really kind, and also very helpful. As I explained, all goes towards more content on the channel, so I honestly can't thank you enough. Thank you so much. Have I ever thought about shipping the Z4 to a country of my choice and then driving it around to a country for a few weeks? That would be awesome, actually. One thing I'd like to do in this car before it goes is at least drive it into Europe, because that way you don't incur major shipping costs. You just need to get on the Eurotunnel and drive. I think, I've never really looked into the expense of it, but I'd imagine it's horrendously expensive to do that, and probably not worth it. In terms of sort of the money I would generate from doing that, if that makes any sense, it probably wouldn't be a financially wise decision yet. So in terms of shipping, probably not, although it'd be amazing to have it over in LA. That'd be cool. But yeah, I'd love to drive it into Europe, definitely, and do some road trips around there in it. But yeah, good question. Cool. Well guys, fire away any last minute questions. I'll stay on for a couple more minutes because I'm actually getting a little bit cold now, and the sun is very much going down, so you won't be able to see me for much longer anyway. But yeah, honestly, thank you so much for all being here. I actually really enjoyed doing these, and so I will happily continue to do one of these a week if I can, until probably things pick up a little bit again, and then there'll be some more normal content on the channel. But yeah, fire away any last minute questions you guys have. I'm gonna move the camera actually. Oh no, I'm not. It's not going to work. I just want to put it down for a second. Louis says, really enjoyed this in the last few, so keep it up. Thank you so much, Louis. I appreciate that. I'm glad you're enjoying it as well as me. Thank you, Anthony. Ant, sorry. Thank you. bye to you. Keep on the good work. Thank you so much. Selvio Pass worth a trip. Yeah, I've been there actually. It's amazing there. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, thanks guys for the super chat. So that's very kind of you. Really, really appreciate it. Yeah, cool. I guess this is goodbye then. Goodbye. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for all the questions. What can I update you on? New video should be coming out on Wednesday. It's a little bit different and it's going into depth with some cool things, which I want to share with you guys. And soon there will be a soft top cleaning video. There's gonna be a video on talking about why I started YouTube. So some of that seeing through glass stuff will come into that actually. And yeah, lots of other stuff. I'm browsing Auto Trader all the time, trying to save some money so that hopefully as soon as possible I'll be able to buy some new cars for the channel. And who knows, before too long I should be able to go out and meet people and feature their cars as per usual. Hopefully get back down to Eden Prestige and Performance, the dealership, and drive some more of their inventory. I've missed doing that actually. I've driven some incredible cars with them. So yeah, hopefully before long things will resume to normal a little bit more. But yeah, thank you all for the kind words. I wish you all a very pleasant rest of your weekend. If you're here in the UK, enjoy your bank holiday Monday tomorrow, I think that's right. And yeah, all my best regards, honestly, from me. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel as always, and make sure to look out on Wednesdays and Saturdays for my videos and Sundays for these live streams. Tell all your friends, and I look forward to seeing you all again very soon. So yeah, thanks all. I'll say goodbye for now, and I'll see you all very soon. Cheers then. Bye. I'm now going to work out how to end it. There it is.